Hi guys, for today's video, we're gonna be learning about the programming basics such as parameters, keywords, identifiers, syntax, variables, and data types. Let's go! So our learning objectives for today is to discuss the different data types using Java programming, as well as to understand the variable declaration, identifiers, and keywords. And lastly is to recognize the different Java keywords categorically. But first, what is programming? So programming is the act of creating instructions known as code that a computer can run to perform tasks or address problems. It is not limited to writing code but also includes testing, identifying errors and correcting them, which is called debugging, and making improvements. Programmers design precise directions that guide a computer's actions. So here are the first three parameters used in first Java program. So we have class, public, and static. So in the example shown above, we can see the first three parameters. The line class main shows the use of the class keyword, which defines the structure of the program and names it main. Next is the public static void main string arguments. The word public makes the method accessible to the Java system so it can run. Lastly is the keyword static, which means this method belongs to the class itself, so Java can execute it without creating an object. So here are the last four parameters: void, main, string arguments, and system out print line. So in the example above, we can see the use of those four parameters. So the keyword void means that the method does not return any value after it finishes running. Next is the word main, which represents the starting point of every Java program. So basically, this is where the program begins execution. Next is the string args or string arguments part, which is used to accept command line arguments or inputs from the user when the program runs. Lastly is the system out print line, which is used to display or print a message on the screen, which is in this case, it prints hello world. So now let's talk about basic syntax. We all know that Java is case sensitive, which means it treats uppercase and lowercase letters differently. So names like hello world with big letters and hello world with small letters are not the same. Class names should start with an uppercase, and if they contain more than one word, each word's first letter should also be capitalized as shown in the example. Method names, on the other hand, should begin with a lowercase letter and use camel case if there are multiple words, such as show message in the example. Lastly, the program's file name must exactly match the class name, including capitalization. So since the class is named Hello World, the file must be saved as helloworld.java for the program to run correctly. In Java, keywords are also called reserved words because they have special meanings and specific purposes in the program. These words are already defined by Java and are used to perform certain functions or represent certain actions in the code. Since they are part of the Java language itself, they cannot be used as variable names, class names, or identifiers. Here are the examples of Java keywords. Java identifiers are the names used to identify classes, variables, and methods in a program. Every component in Java needs a unique name, and these names are called identifiers. An identifier must always begin with a letter from A to Z. It could be big letter or small letter, a dollar sign, or an underscore. After the first character, it can contain any combination of letters, numbers, or symbols like underscore or dollar sign. However, keywords in Java cannot be used as identifiers. Identifiers are also case sensitive, which means hello with a big letter H and hello with small letter h are treated as different names. Java variables are containers that stores data values during program execution. Each variable is assigned a specific data type and represents a memory location. There are three main types of variables in Java: local, instance, and static. A local variable is declared inside a method, constructor, or block and can only be used within that scope. In the example, int I equals 90 is a local variable because it is declared inside the method and is accessible only there. An instance variable is declared inside the class but outside any method, and each object of the class has its own copy of it. In the example, int data equals 50 is an instance variable since it belongs to each object created from class A. A static variable, on the other hand, is declared using the static keyword and is shared among all objects of the class. In the example, static int m equals 100 is a static variable, meaning it can be accessed without creating an object of the class. Java data types define the kind of values a variable can hold. They are classified into primitive data types, which store simple values like numbers and characters, such as boolean, int, double, and etc. And non-primitive data types, which stores references to objects such as arrays, classes, and interfaces. Boolean data type is used to store only two possible values, true or false. It is commonly used for making decisions in programs through conditional statements. In the example above, the variable is raining is a boolean that determines whether the program prints it's raining, take an umbrella, or no rain, enjoy your day. The byte data type is an 8-bit signed integer that can store values from negative 128 to positive 127. It is often used to save memory when working with large amounts of data. In the example above, two byte variables A and B are added together, and the result is stored in another byte variable named Sam. The short data type in Java is a 16-bit signed integer that can hold values ranging from negative 32,768 to positive 32,767. It is used to save memory in large arrays where memory savings are crucial. In the example above, two short variables num1 and num2 are added together, and the result is stored in another short variable named sum. The int data type in Java is a 32 signed integer commonly used to store whole numbers. It is the default data type for integer values in most Java programs. In the example above, two int variables num1 and num2 are added, and the result is also stored in another int variable called sum. The char data type in Java is used to store a single character, such as letter, digit, or symbol, and it occupies 2 bytes of memory using Unicode representation. It is useful when dealing with individual characters in a program. In the example, the variable letter is assigned the character A, and the program will display the character is a letter. The double data type is a 64-bit floating point type used to store decimal numbers with high precision. It is ideal for calculations involving fractions or very large or small values, such as scientific or mathematical computations. In the example, the variables pi and radius are declared as doubles to calculate the area of a circle. The float data type in Java is used to store decimal numbers with fractions, such as 5.75, 2.23, or etc. It is written with an F at the end to show that it's a float. In the example, float number is equals to 5.75f stores a decimal value and system out print line number displays 5.75 on the screen. The long data type, on the other hand, is used for very large whole numbers that can't fit in an int data type. In the example, long distance is equals to that number saves a large number and system out print line distance prints it, showing how long can handle big numeral values. So let's now move to non-primitive Java data types. So we have classes, interface, and arrays. The class data type in Java serves as a blueprint for creating objects. It defines the properties and behaviors that objects of that class will have. In the example, a class is created to store and represent a value showing how objects can hold and manage data. The interface data type is a blueprint of a class that contains abstract methods without implementations. It is used to define a set of rules or behaviors that other classes must follow. In the example, the interface represents a structure that other classes can use to ensure they perform specific actions like making sounds or running. The array data type is used to store multiple values of the same type in a single variable. It allows easy management and access of a collection of elements using indexes. In the example, the array stores a list of names, which are Alice, Bob, and Charlie. So this is the end of my video about the programming basics. Thank you for listening.